Guys, this is one of those games that really doesn't matter. Both teams play their tails off, and it's a lot of fun. And to see the guys compete out there, and a lot of them know each other, and even after the game, just to see, the handshakes. This is something special in the town of Jacksonville and what they do to support this game and support both schools and both fan bases. Man, it's pretty special. Obviously, guys, it's great to win. I think somebody brought up one game in 28 days, and I thought there early some freshmen were jumping a little bit, but we seemed to handle that in the second half and played okay defensively. I mean, what do you say? They other than not, losing contain, which really hurt us. And guys, that quarterback that they have is something special, and that guy's going to be a guy we're going to have to contend with here at Florida for a lot of years to come. He did a great job scrambling out of the pocket. I thought we did a good job with our rush lanes in the second half, and stayed disciplined with our eyes in the secondary. Disappointed on the sack early. We had a little screen called and knocked us out of field goal range, out of scoring range there early in the first half. But overall, being able to get a few first downs when they loaded the box there at the end, I think that was good for our O-line and good for our teams. So this never gets old, this one. It's a lot of fun. Questions? Edgar, you got your guy ready there? Okay. All right, good.
Pat, right here, right? Curious about the fourth down call there at the end.
Yeah.
I feel like the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Here's where you kind of look at that. Obviously, punt, possibly, pin them down, but we only gained, about 15, 17 yards or whatever it would have been, if we kick it out of the end zone. There's always the threat, obviously, of a fake or a block, and also it's kind of one of those things where I just challenged our guys. I said, look, it's time, it's time to assert your will and don't take no for an answer, and so it kind of was a little bit of a statement deal too.
Was it? Do you think that they were going to think you're trying to draw them off and that give you a little advantage there?
Well, we talked about going no snap, no play, and that's one of those deals that Kirby and I worked against each other every single Friday with that, and so I'm sure that they were prepared for it. Wanted to just go on first sound and tell our guys to, look, you've got 1.5 yards. Go get it done.
Robbie, how much did it mean to this team and the defense to have Jared Davis out there playing like he did tonight?
Guys, I can't say enough. And like I said, he practiced Wednesday and not great. Got beat up by a tackling dummy on one play. But then was there Thursday and obviously full walk through Friday. He came back in after warm-ups and said, Coach, I'm playing. And like I said, that was totally up to him. And yet he means, like I said, man, he's the heart and soul of this team. And for him, this game meant a lot. Now, he's going to be sore. We got to do a great job of continuing to, get him back. But I only saw one time we ended up actually getting to the quarterback where they might have had him isolated. They had a guy in the flat, and he was chasing. He wasn't chasing as fast as he normally chases, but we did a good job up front.
And how much confidence are you guys playing with on defense right now?
They were a little rattled a little bit when they gave up those scramble throws, and yet when we sat down and just talked about it, I mean, look, as long as you do your job, stay disciplined in what you're doing, and you got a chance to be pretty good. I thought our defensive front did a great job up front. I think Daniel McMillan came in and played, as good a game as he's played, and it was that type of personnel grouping, that fit that. So there were a lot of guys that played well, and you know what? There's a lot of happy Gators out there.
Thomas in the middle.
You talked about the fourth down call being a statement. I mean, was that entire game in some ways a statement just in terms of how you guys played the trenches?
Yeah, and that's something we want to get better at, and we've got a ways to go. I thought both running backs ran pretty good, at times, kept their feet moving. But as I talked to them all week, this game was going to be determined by the front on both sides of the ball.
Ed, and then Gene over there. Ed.
You talked about one game in 28 days. Do you think that had a big effect on your offense against the timing?
I don't know. I'm looking for all kinds of things. It's no excuse. We played pretty efficiently in the second half. It's a little upset on the 3rd and 1.5 or whatever it was, and anyway. But we've got to get better. We've got some good players. We need to get them the ball, and get the ball in their hands and let them do their thing. So, one thing I will say. People pick this team apart quite a bit and this and that. Guys, this is a good football team. The Florida Gators are a good team, all right? And I'll go with these guys against anybody. And we'll figure out a way to get it done, and that's the way they are in that locker room. Coach, we'll figure out a way to get it done, and we'll get it done. And that's what I love about their mentality.
Gene over here to the right, and Ryan.
Jim, do you think you can win the SEC with your defense carrying an inordinate amount of burden?
Sure.
Could you expand on
Well, I believe we can. I believe we have the ingredients here, both offensively and defensively and special teams, to make a heck of a run. And, yeah.
Ryan and then Edgar.
Not only did Jared play, but he was all over the place in the tackles. How well he moved.
I actually was. I was really surprised, to be honest. But like I said, it's just hard to count a guy like that out. Just the way he's built, the way his mindset is. I'm not surprised he made plays. Him playing that effectively, pretty shocking.
I know Luke was supposed to read the announcement. I got to choose this.
I thought he did okay. Obviously, they knew that we had a cut split, and they know. I mean, they robbed the over route, and he threw it, which wasn't good. That's a staple in their defense. But other than that, for the most part, we took care of the football. He managed the game well, and did we win? Okay, good. All right, just want to make sure.
Edgar,
Unbelievable.
Edgar and then
I'm with you. I got you.
Edgar and then Zach. Edgar.
Edgar, we won.
On the series that you guys kind of put him away, I think Luke was 4-4 in that series,
Yeah.
and then he had the sweep
To Callaway.
Was
Yeah.
that kind of mix you wanted to
Yeah.
offense, you had Scarlett.
Would love to be 50-50 and be balanced, and we've got to get better at our pocket movement has got to get better. And what do I mean by that? Off of the plays that we're running the ball out of to give us an opportunity. We tried that end of the first half. We got out in open sets and couldn't protect. What did we give up? 2 sacks right there. So we got to be smart about what we have and the parts we have, and then we just got to move forward and use it.
What about just the defensive game plan? You guys seem to really have Easton confused when you were coming to the corner blitz. You had Heck on the safety blitz.
Yeah, I tell you, Jeff and those guys, that defensive staff, I felt, put a great game plan together. But part of it was with a rookie quarterback was to give him different looks that he hadn't seen, kind of, show it here and take it away and come from the other side, some things like that. But I will say this, I thought he was pretty effective in breaking the pocket and making some plays too. So, we got to those rush lanes, man. We can't let that happen.
So Zach up front, and then Kevin and Pat. Zach.
Jim, you said after the Missouri game, obviously the talk was about Tabor and Wilson, and that you felt like, okay, now teams are going to start trying to challenge Duke Dawson.
Yeah.
You just talked about the way he plays.
Yeah, Duke and Marcus and Marcel, those guys on the inside now. And I thought Duke defended unbelievably well in the pass game. You know, they were big on slants. He's able to get that, and then to break up that fourth down one there. Those guys are playing at a high level now and playing with a lot of confidence. But more than that, they're not just showing up and doing it. They're actually studying, and it's helping them play faster. And that's what's great to see.
Can you address what's going on with Coach?
Yeah, he's right now kind of trying to figure out whether he wants to play or not. And our door's always open for him until he finds his way and what he wants to do. We're here to support him.
Is he with the team right now?
Yeah, I mean, no, he's not. So, no.
Kevin and then Pat.
Following up on that, obviously with Thompson and him going down, how do you feel Scarlett and Ryan handling?
Yeah, I thought those guys did a good job. I thought LaMichael got a little winded a little bit, but for the most part, I thought they did a good job. I thought LaMichael gave us, that was a heck of a first down there. We needed kind of on that swing, and those two guys are really good backs, so they'll keep playing off each other.
And can you talk a little bit about McElwain play this week for the touchdown?
Well, it's something that we knew out of trio that we felt like were going to give us an opportunity and wouldn't have to block the end and can go block the guy with the tight end that's standing outside because it hits so fast. So it's just, nothing. It's just standard speed sweep is all it is. Nothing fancy.
Pat and then Edgar.
Was the defensive philosophy, look, this not let them run the ball,
Yeah.
and then try to confuse them rather than the other way around?
Yeah. No, we definitely wanted to try to make them as one-dimensional as possible, and the dimension that we wanted them to get into was to have to throw it. Our gap control in the run game was pretty spot on, and yet they had a great week of practice too. So, yeah. That's what we tried to do.
Edgar in the middle, we're getting pretty close to wrapping up. There's several players getting ready to come in. Edgar.
A couple of the performances on defense first. Jabari was in the
Yeah. Zuni did great. He's that guy just keeps getting better, as a lot of those young guys do, and it's great to see. Coach Rump does a great job with those guys. I think what's helping us in the amount of bodies that we're kind of rolling through there is, I think, really helping us. And CC, I mean, there were a bunch of guys up front. They to get Cox back and just to have his presence, with that big old club and Jordan Sherritt, and I think those guys are taking a look that, these young guys are pretty darn good. I don't want to be out too long.
And then Marcel Harris.
Yeah. Sel's playing like I said, they're playing at a high level, and yet here's the challenge: can they sustain the level that they're playing at? We'll get a chance to do it again next week. All right, guys, thanks.
Appreciate it.